Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Beautiful day, January 24th, 2023. January 24, 2023. Salon people. And I know say I can always tell them, I say every day is a beautiful day. You're not going to know the value of a day until you wake up. You know how many people go sleep last night, not wake up? You know how many people start yesterday, not end up? It's millions of people out there, but you, one of the lucky ones, will survive for see this day and you see this morning. It's a beautiful thing, you know. Life can be tough, life rough, it's difficult and everything else. But once there's hope, you know, there is life. And once there's life, there is hope. You know, vice versa. But some people, you know, of course, today that we missed, we get a very honorable lady what we can discuss with and talk about the way forward for the APC party. She's trying to contest for opposition within the party. We can discuss some Kocha will bring her in and introduce her effectively and properly. But like always, we can like for just touch certain issues them where they permeate with society, the issues that where they affect the lives of Sierra Leoneans them. We can tell them that say 60 years later after in the
before you touch issues, touch issues, don't forget
right.
Wish we brought up a sick bed.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Sick bed with the wish and split the recovery. And like people know say, you not lost at the platform that sick is sick. And so when somebody sick, health is well to know say like I can't talk no say you get a kidney stone the money right now if you for go undergo operation. Say all no say you need to work, you don't get chance for work, no say no work. We're not going to ask for based on the bad governance. So today, a wonderful bad day for him.
Absolutely, the people's power. You know, some people like what I get for understand. When you talk for some way, an orator constantly you get for the talk. When you talk, it come up from that belly, you diaphragm. When you look at the anatomy of a human being, people's power, man, where they talk from in diaphragm. When I don't say where they come, get for project power. You know, so people's power not able for come and do a deal. You know, so we not say in birthday today. We wonderful brother, let God continue for guide them, protect them, let God give him mercy, let God give him well body, let God give him medicine, let God, make all in desires and in prayers come to pass. Those are some of the things what they ask for, you know, Allah in name and Jesus Christ in name. No, so we want to say many thanks to People's Power for everything he's been doing over the years in advocacy. I mean, you know, he's the man where they reach out and able for, you know, communicate effectively with Sierra Leoneans. God will give medicine again. He will come out and come and, you know, join we and hopefully, you know, participate again and then we audios there. But anyways, you know, everybody, when I wish People's Power happy birthday. I've seen most of the forums them already. They have been is being wished happy birthday, and you know, let's continue to celebrate our brother there. You know, so comrade, you see, the fact of the matter is, we see first of all, let we acknowledge. Say we will discuss that later with brother Edmond Dabu. We will discuss him later, the Native Consortium. We see him message, we listen audio, we see him press release where he release. You know, of course, we will discuss the intricacies of everything. But while I will not say Sierra Leoneans, we don't come on that 10-day way, 1940, 1960, you know, where they take us, you know, you go lock them up. You know, the abuse and misuse of the Constitution and the rights of citizens, them is too much. The flagrant violation of our civil liberties and political rights, it's too much. You know, section 17, subsection 3, you know, one of the aspects of the Constitution, we for pay attention to it heavily. You know, they take person, you go lock up because you have to lock up. Oh, you don't fit time, you go lock up. You know, those days when person they come and get the key, they go lock you up. You wait for me, they go lock you. You know, they happen in Sierra Leone. It should not happen. And if it happen again, as Sierra Leoneans, we get for stand up against these things. It is illegal and unconstitutional. We have a constitution for a reason, to protect the citizens. If we get constitution, we don't follow them. We don't follow the dictates of the constitution. Then what's the point of having a constitution? So these are all the things we say. So we brother Monabu would handle that issue later. We hear you, and we know say the fight continues to save the soul of Sierra Leone. There are a lot of questions we'll get, but on this basis of this tariff, we know say we have to stand by you and make sure say we protect the people of Sierra Leone. It is affecting their bottom line. You know, social media folks, them within social media in Sierra Leone, bloggers and or this otherwise, regardless of what platform they represent, regardless of what social you know, political party they represent, but these people are being affected as well because they get for buy top up, for able to get data, for upload their videos them and camera online and engage and talk to people. And we know students them are affected as well. So every cross section across the country, people are affected by this increase in the tariff prices. Wait till because we get a reckless government. So we'll handle that issue later. But Sierra Leoneans them, we see exactly what's in the happen. We see the NPPA boss. We can for discuss that back as well at some point. The NPPA boss, the National Public Procurement Authority boss, in message where go put out. But you can imagine these guys are people that when they tell you they go do PhD. You see, for go school, it is not about the degrees. If you cannot, if at that lower level that primary education stuff where you get common sense how to apply some of these things. Because again, remember that sense make book. That's what book makes sense. That sense now make book. For now you go team up the talk say a whole political party, and this comes to everything that we've been saying over the years. All we fears. What they talk and say these guys are tribal. Look at the SLPP, the setup of the cabinet. Look at the ministries, departments, and agencies. Them over 179 ministries, departments, and agencies. Them all the heads of the parastatals there. Mende. We don't talk and say we want an ethnic audit. If you say what they say a lie, bring a public hearing and hold an ethnic audit. Parliament for conduct them. Let them bring them out to the people of Sierra Leone. We don't talk that here over and over. Now they cancel out for manifest. The chairperson for the NPPA, the boss for the NPPA. Now, Ingo team up the talk say the SLPP where they so now the SLPP for the Mende people. We don't talk So this now confession number now for buttress the point where they say all these years will tell now. Enough fire in the country, one type dominance not good. Not that they want to talk about because I know say come record going to crash right now. It want for enter this particular conversation there. But some people these are some of the things where they bother we. The Supreme Court, they sit up on the PR case. We know so we get to the constituency-based elections. It's the best way for conduct our elections. Now in the constitution prescribed for. The PR system only came because of what happened back in 1996. Prior to that, we'll get the rebel war. Certain areas they will not able to reach the areas then they. Now it caused the problem when we say okay, now we use the PR system just so we'll get at least a segment of the voice of the people. But now we don't get these constituency-based elections. The people they represent and people that they want to represent them. The people they elect and leaders them. How beautiful could democracy be in Africa as it is? Then guy they are very, very, very disrespectful to our people. The one to the people, the one of the people they elect and they like today. They don't get one regard and respect for the people. They still see the people like now the kind of people where they come on, you go get a 10,000 way election come. You go build one toilet for the way election come, or you go build one pump for the way election in near. They still see people that way. People go suffer for 4 years, 5 years, nothing, not the kind that they community them, no improvement in their lives. But then you see, this is the beauty of constituency-based elections. Now, any people want. At the time when the elections or parliamentary elections were announced, Section 38, subsection 1. At the time when the parliamentary elections were announced, if constituencies don't exist, that is the only time when the president may consult with NEC. Exactly. Section 38, subsection 1 was an amended part of the constitution. Now, for go back and look back what happened in 1996 and 2002, where we not be getting a constitution before 1996, because Marabio, this same President Bio, they suspend the constitution. We were being governed by decree. By decree, constitution will be there. Now, they're able to use the PR system sort of unconstitutionally. But it was not the only way that they were for conduct election at time, because people have been tired. They want elections. But anyway, communicator, go ahead and come on in, my brother. Let me introduce sister, mama, and everything, and take it from there.
Ibrahim, like we talk about Manabu, who they tell anybody say one to build a force where you will be SLPP, then they be NGC, then they be PMDC, you be APC, who think Sierra Leone. And all they think now we something affect Sierra Leone, so all come together as a nation. We talk like what they lock Manabu. Or man no say we plus one on top of the pass anybody, but we then lock up because of the increased top up. So this is a fight for the whole nation, not for APC or SLPP. Anybody do use smartphone as alone, that affect them. So we join and then we could can't talk about now. And we appreciate the instead we come out to tell everybody, thank you, a standby grounds. And they say you will continue for what to do. We are waiting for them, we are watching. Equally, we still wait for see what she will say to them. But Ibrahim, as we always talk, say, we want to diversify salon politics, and now we go diversify them, now we get home and then I start in position of trust. Now we could platform in campaign say we need for diversify salon politics so that we get home and then a position of trust. If you England don't trust the country, turn on prime minister to 1, to 2, to 3. America don't turn on around the mate, the vice president. They don't turn on chief secretary of state. They don't see country like that, Tanzania. Don't give man leadership for some president like Libya. Salon not exception, Ibrahim.
Absolutely.
We get today somebody when I noble somebody when I APC they buy for the APC national deputy chairperson. When Madam Jennifer Kagbo, a man like household name in a salon not to APC because he don't serve in the capacity not as an APC but as a minister of finance, within a minister not to the party they serve, like the country they serve. Because whatever went wrong, it affect the entire nation. So Mami not serve as a former the finance minister under an in era. And any self don't work na difference. I need to come on a man in platform, they come on a new platform. So Mrs. Jennifer, the platform is yours. Introduce yourself and tell people that you get people anyway, Ibrahim. They push against him for say.
Beautiful. Okay, people's power. Bruh, you
yes,
what? Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead, Mama.
I want to tell you, thank you for bringing me at this platform. I also want to tell thank you to all the listeners them out there who go listen to this program. I want to take the opportunity to say happy birthday to one of our noble partners them way today, my birthday. Me and Mrs. Jennifer Tago, I aspire for the position of Deputy National Chairman. I believe I come with a lot of experience, local experience and international experience. I believe I get the political astute, I'm politically savvy, and I believe I get the political pedigree for make I able to represent APC at that level. APC because me na born APC at small, and the kind of things that I don't do inside APC and prepare me for make I give that voice to APC, the voice where I believe represents the grassroots APC way I know, and the grassroots APC will want for make sure they really hold this party. That is who I am representing, and that is who I am. My work include first, my work inside Sierra Leone. I work inside Sierra Leone where I do major work in the late 70s up to 1988. Where some of the work include work I do inside APC with people like Iti Kamara when he was Secretary General, because me a management background now I have an MBA in management, and therefore I was able to use my professional background for help for see how Iti Kamara go manage the office the time when I've been Secretary General. I also helped for use my professional for help William Conte. At that time, William Conte was Speaker of Parliament. If I remember, he was the Speaker of Parliament. I also was able to use my professional background for help him in terms of defining how he go manage that office, the portfolio when we hold. So now that kind of work I don't do within the APC party. Within the APC party also, I remember the days when they help people like Abato Chidi and Mary Toronka them, where they have been doing a women's congress. At that time, they help young women them for put them into give them business skills. We have been one of them trainer. They've been get them training under Crystal. There was a Crystal vocational. If you remember, it was on Circular Road, and there I was able to go there where they don't get them and give them to help them for put together the business plan and how for run them business. So this kind of work I don't do inside APC. APC at that time of self-help, when they make road, dig gutter, and mobilize with community them for. So this is who I am within APC. I want to focus more on my work within APC and let people see that we are grassroots people. We are people who operate at the community level. You might not hear my name, at the top, but not to say we're absent. We are very much on the ground doing the work where APC is known for. Accommodate I go at the international level, where I work in the United Nations for 25 years. And there I rise to the position of Deputy Executive Secretary, the number 2 position at the United Nations, waiting for the whole of Africa. And there I able to provide the leadership, what I believe enable me to prepare me for that be a very good Deputy National Chairman of the APC. So this is my background. I come with the experience, the integrity, knowledge, and the sabi for that able to be a good lieutenant to the chairman and to my party, the All People's Congress.
Awesome. Ms. Jennifer, we'll come back to you, but we say we get with brother People's Power with us. People's Power, I don't know if you're comfortable with. I want to check them. So you know, when you talk from your diaphragm, right? You know, saying that belly heart problem you get. So I don't know if you want to say 1 or 2 words because we already expressed you, but they wish out there, and you want to talk to we People's Power.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Thank you very much. From the Peter, but also I want to tell Mrs. Jennifer Kago plenty thank you, and I want to tell this platform plenty thank you. I just want to tell family and the People's Power, the Drive for Cover, and when I always reach out to me, the one that always support me. I want to tell you now, plenty thank you, especially this platform. And to all APC people, we reach out to me, and people that will support me. Different support we I get from, and APC people all over the world, especially, and fans them, supporters them, we listen to the platform, people that we believe in this platform, and also people that we believe in the people's power. Up until now, plenty thank you. I appreciate everybody, those the one they will reach out to me, we are not able to reach out to, they will send messages to me, we are not able to open up to this time. We are all equally, everybody play role for make able for recover. So I want to tell everybody plenty thank you. But the biggest thanks go to the Almighty Allah. We are the creator, we are the maker, we are the sustainer, we are the giver and taker, we are the everything. I want to continue for.
All right.
I think I will come in and shortly for come and tell and supporters them see the people's power will join the platform back shortly by the grace of Allah, and God don't make it possible for we. At least we all will come back, and we do usual programs there, because a lot of talk then don't go from one place to another. A lot of talk then don't meet me, but we will ignore the one a day. Then we try for fight for pull this SLPP junta government. We headed by Madam Yu. So I just want for assure people them see. I want for tell now plenty thank you, and Yayu, I see you. Thank you very much, and a lot of people we support me. I know we call by their names, but I get everybody in the heart, and always the think of Una, and this don't you see, we do a very good job. When you get a problem, people in the under they stand for you, people will come by your side, people will come and sympathize with you. Everybody gets in your way where it is support. So I want to tell plenty thank you on behalf of this platform, and Ibrahim, Communicator, Cashbox, and all other listeners there. I want to tell now all plenty thank you. And even the Mami we get now we platform right now the show we buy for the chairman of the party,
deputy
chairperson of the party. I want to tell you all plenty thank you, and over to you, Ibrahim.
Thank you. Comrade, like you the floor back. I know say Miss Jennifer don't introduce herself. Comrade, you have to follow up from there. Comrade, you're on mute.
Yeah, come with you.
Yeah, Ibrahim.
Yes. I say you offer follow up from you first.
Yeah, as you say, we were looking Mrs. Tago say, we want to get the opportunity for like talk, then we can now for ask them 3 questions as we get open questions, then we hope say we will patiently and we'll be able to read for questions we'll get for ask them.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
So Miss Kago, this is what I'm going to say, right? There is not a short. Not speak English now. No, APC no get shortage of experienced people. That I can guarantee you.
Not at all.
When it comes to professionals all over the world across, APC no get shortage of that kind of people within the party.
Yeah.
But one thing where we see,
absolutely agree with you.
Yes, ma'am. But one thing with me, and it's an opinion where I don't see, where I feel say it's a problem within the APC party, it is certain people feel say there's this sense of entitlement, and among certain people within the party, they feel say it's their property, and everything should be their way. They're very arrogant to a certain extent, so much to the point that they don't even listen to the voices of the people within the party, especially the grassroots. So Ms. Jennifer, I phrase that way, but then I want to ask this first question before we go any further. Where was Ms. Kagbo 4 years of SLPP? Usai Ms. Kagbo be there? What was she doing? On that front, people get killed in McKinney, Podlock, Lonsara, Tombo. Where was Ms. Kagbo? Usai Ms. Kagbo be there? What did Ms. Kagbo be to do all this while? And now she wants to, yes. Go ahead, Baba.
Mrs. Kagbo was in the center of all of those things. Mrs. Cargo, at that time, I remember we go on air and there are statements where we make, including waiting even they do with the mayor. The mayor issues them. We were giving voice to it. But the only thing is that we were not able to give it within the ambit of our party. So we tend to do it on the sideline. Because the party, as I rightly say, they're not open completely for let them embrace fully all the knowledge and expertise and professionals who then get out there. So we find space within our own circle. For example, during that time, I'm a member of Planet, Front Ladies Network. Under Planet, we're able to make statements. Under Planet, we're able to visit, people and raise awareness on the issues them confronting the country and also the party. So within the institutions that have been the work, with the women that have been the work like Women 232, within the mayor in team, we were able to go in there and provide the kind of voice, through the statements that we will make and through the cause. Okay, so yes, I've been very much involved. Also within the APC, we've been very much involved. One of those who have put our foot to make sure that the reform where some of our younger APCians them put forward, we bring them to fruition. We help for pilot and for make sure say we embrace some of the issues them where we believe say we help party for go forward. And in that respect, I'm a member of the peace group, the peace facilitation group. When we go McKinney last week, then picture the one at the sea with the flag bearers them. Now we pioneer them. Now we there behind it. Beautiful. And we not the one that we make that happen. Again, some of the other work they do, Mrs. Carbo, they do behind the scene. For example, first-time voters. First-time voters is an area where I've put my attention. And with the first-time voter issues, we even be one for to go courts. Make I tell you now, one for go courts. There are cases so we don't go already.
Speak on
but
that.
Some of the picking them of them, mama them, who mama them, they afraid. The mothers were scared to say that we'll be expecting their children if we had gone to court. But we were prepared to go to court, and these were the kind of actions we they take on the ground. We challenge them. We have not been silent, except that we have not been on the mainstream. Making the voices as loud as possible. And that is why I want to go into the mainstream now, go into the APC party itself, so that we'll get the kind of voice where I believe say I can bring into the platform, into the forum.
Absolutely beautiful. And by the way,
good morning, Ibrahim and Comrade and People's Power. Good morning, guys.
Kashi.
Sorry, I was a bit late.
Kashi,
I just meet you. Yes, go on.
Kashi, I know the point where you want to go. Say, with a reach there, you want to ask. No, so say Miss Gagbo close, right? I be one follow up real quick before then. Don't forget your thoughts. I just want close up them before you come in there. Miss Gagbo, the reason why I ask you that question, I want to let you understand. Say these are the questions where APC people ask potential candidates them from the local levels to the flag bearership of the APC party. They want for no Usai Unabide for the past 4 years when President Bioro rained terror on them. Kill them, people. The economy don't go bad. Where were you guys? These are the questions who the people they ask. So a good way you don't clear them in the air. And these are the questions who they get for ask potential flag bearers and people who seek positions within the APC as a party. Usa you be there when they slaughter them. Pademba Road Prison Massacre, Makeni Massacre, Tombo, Lonsar. You want to be president now. You want for contest for position now. Usa you be there. Were you supporting the people? We see people like Dr. Sabura Kabara and the Komot. We see people like Honorable Ibrahim Kemosi say, then they stand up. They talk against this government, against the heels of this government. I will just ask you that question there, so people go yeri and know what you have to do at the background. Kashi, go ahead and come on in, Kashi.
Yeah, just that's a brilliant point, by the way, because that's what we've been saying, and that is our not to criticism, but the light we really shared into the people, where have you guys been all this while? However, the side way I just meet up joining the call. Now the fact that Mr. Stego, you were talking about the picking the mama they no agree, and all that, and I will carry later with the 250,000 people we don't be deleted, 257,000 people that will not be deleted from the register. But you see, do we need not for say like people like Una, not of evidence them Una need of the picking them way like you know, they don't register. Do you have to take the kids there to court? I mean, it could well be, but I just want kind of like make people understand. Do you have to take the kid, or you need evidence if the people are afraid? And also, the 257,000 members and people that will not be deleted from the register. What like you or like the APC as a political party doing for that about that particular issue?
I think they are following up on it. There have been voices all over the place. You know, and we including the mayor. You know, sometimes you speak through somebody, you provide the information on which the person go speak. During the registration, some of the voices out there that we provide, because I was on the ground monitoring, although even forget the accreditation for go monitor the registration was an uphill battle. We ended up having the accreditation. I remember we even have a press conference where we raised all of these issues. It was a press conference under COP, and I was one of those people involved in those COP press conference where we highlight all of the decisions and all of the actions of ECSL in terms of disenfranchising our young voters. Not only our young voters, there were some older people also who had registered before. So it's not of not wanting not to talk, but we give the information, we follow it up. But you know what's not the problem right now? When you not get a party where you not get a governing body leading your party, it weakens you. It weakens you. You know, the center does not hold. Right now, it is a transition government that is managing our party. It's a transition regime, and the transition regime not to pay attention to all of these things, you know, where they happen around us. So we the individuals who are out there speaking, you know, because we are not speaking from our political platform of the APC secretariat, we are weakened, you know, and that is why
organized and a functioning body. So what then they do in terms of like these people that has been disenfranchised?
Well, the COP raised their voices. We went to ECSL, and I could single out 2 or 3 COP members. Femi Claudius Cole, whom we all worked with closely, you know, gave voice. You know, because we felt that we need to talk with one voice, and we gave the voice to Femi Claudius Cole. Our mayor was another person who was also very, very strong on the ground, giving her the support that she needed to confront ECSL in terms of both the 250 people that we are missing. I'm hearing some stories. I don't know what happened, but I hear that they have been reinstated. We are yet to confirm that, but from the grapevine, that is what we are hearing. You know, that they have not been able.
Gotcha.
Sorry, somebody's coming on my.
Okay.
You know, that's easy, but not because we are not speaking. We are speaking, as I say. The APC platform is missing as a body, as a framework.
Right.
Because right now it's a transition. It's an ITGC that is not paying attention to any of these issues, and right now they are the ones who are supposed to speak for APC, but they are not. So we are on the sideline doing the best we can do to bring voice to some of these issues.
Yeah, Mr. Seba, I just want to follow up one more thing. Sorry, they drill you into this, but you know, like we've seen situation where, for instance, the PR system was taken to court for the Supreme Court to interpret it. I think, like, yes, the PR system is very, very, you know, important. So, do we not find like the 257,000 people? Do we not find like the first-time voters like not being allowed to register as a very critical
thing like with democratic process, and why we not try to gather 1 or 2 evidences then and go to court. I know like somebody go say the court is being bought and the court is kind of like meshed up and all that in there because they've captured every institution. But did we try? What is the position? How did we communicate these things to like the moral guarantors, like the international community? Some people are going to let for know and bring some amount of confidence to them.
The court system, you have to understand how the court system works.
Right.
The court system, me, Jennifer Cabo, cannot just take the case to court because I was able to register.
Right.
So I can only champion those who were not able to register.
Right.
That's the role we can play. Okay. And therefore, we need people who were victims, who were not able to register going to court. And we behind them, supporting them. And that was the role I was playing. And you can confirm it on the ground. We try to play that role because everything, including the number of people within our community, not only Freetown, who were not able to register. And what did you have to find a case, a winnable case. In whatever you are doing, you have to find a winnable case. And the cases we had were children who had birth certificates, authentic birth certificates, to the point where we have to go to birth and death to make sure that this birth certificate that these children were presenting were authentic. And we got all of that. But again, the parents have to give their final say as to whether they want their children. So it was the parents really who made it difficult for us to proceed. Not because we didn't want to. We thought that a court action, a class action suit was the best action we could have made to highlight the difficulties that these people were having.
Absolutely.
But irrespective of that, we were also able to mobilize these children, and I can tell you the statements the children made. The first-time voters who came together, to make a statement as to how they've been disenfranchised. So they went on the air to explain and to express their frustration. They express their frustration in terms of how their own people are treating them as citizens who should have a positive experience wanting to vote for the first time in their life. So yes, some effort was made, and I'm happy to say that I was one person behind it. Because I've championed first-time voters for the last 3 or 4 years. I've been championing them.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Miss Jennifer, that's a very good question that Cashbox asked you there. Even though you touched on it prior, saying the parents them not allow enough for take this matter to the courts because the parents them afraid for them picking them say. But you see, Miss Jennifer Kagbo, this is what we talk about. What we talk about civic education. You see, Sierra Leone today is behind because a lot of our parents them they left things that they should have done, actions where them for don't take. For make sure they prevent future problems. So they deal with them like today. They say to me business. They sit on there and left with me not mix. They don't go beat me. They don't jail me. Because freedom is not something where they come easily. You have to fight for it. So civic education. I know they blame the parent them now because again they don't know what it like. Because what it like for fight for democracy. How can you as a parent sit down? You watch your picking in democratic rights being taken away from them, snuff out of them just like that. In a society where they're born, their birthright, their entitlement. This is not a privilege. It is their right to be able to participate in the democratic process of Sierra Leone. This is something where any parent will stand up for and say, I'm going to do everything I could to support the right of my child to be able to vote. So you see, this is not the civic education. So moving forward, were you able to engage these parents for I want to teach them, bring them, come together, set up like a forum? I know say this is not the interviews about you selling yourself now, but this all go help you for let people understand and see the kind of work what you don't do. Because it's not late yet, Miss Jennifer. It is not late, Miss Kagbo. For let una go back to the Supreme Court and petition this matter because una need a simple interpretation. Section 32 and section 33 of the Constitution, and NEC come inside it. NEC get the responsibility for register voters. And everybody gets a right to be voted for, and everybody gets a right to vote. So if their rights have been taken away, now the duty of the Supreme Court to interpret that part of the Constitution. Can you guys fight on that? Because them not later to, I can take this matter back to the Supreme Court. Because would you agree with me, Miss Jennifer? No matter how you fight for the type of election we get for use, but if the people wait for vote, not able for vote, it don't mean anything. So if we're not missing 257,000 names of people that when they say that they will register biometry, and that is one part of AMO, then young people able for register. Hey, Ms. Kagbo, tell me how many people are being disenfranchised. This is not a matter for the Supreme Court. What do you think about that? Why you feel so good for bringing the parents together?
I agree with you. The case file is still open, and I can tell you the lawyer will be the champion and with me at JFK. It was with JFK, we worked together. The children went there, so we go back. Yes, I talked to the mommy them. I engaged the mommy them. But the mommy then say, Mrs. Kagbo, you have me to send me picking up for the go court. Mr. Get for the go court. I get for the go sell me markets. So those were the issues that they came up with, and you have to convince them. And in convincing them, you have to understand that they have their livelihood to protect.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, Miss Kagbo. We talk to the parents now directly. Una all parents and one picking them affected. So waiting better. You sit down, you take away, you picking in democratic right, you picking them for vote because of you get for go sell that market and now the market important. But you picking in vote, get for determine the future of in life. Are you going to sit back and allow you picking? Not for use that in rights, there for change the betterment of Sierra Leone tomorrow. Are you going to look back and say no? And you not regret your action for allow you picking for taking action? This is education set for the picking them. Now you begin at this young age, you don't understand what it's like for stand up and fight for their rights. Knowing say I was at the age of 18 or 19, where I go court for challenge the government. That's so they begin born fighters in the society, patriotic citizens. So it can for empower the people in the communities as well.
Ibrahim, hold on. Like you see, we talk about the court, right? But you don't feel say, and then I do not know the roles and responsibilities like the people that wait for champion this, right? But before we even get to the court, did any of the politicians, like the constituency chairman, the parliamentarians, did they take up on this fight and go to ECSL and say, look, I've got like reliable Tinaya. This speaking in birth certificate is credible, whether pink or yellow or purple or blue. Like I've got credible birth certificates there. Before we even get to the court, I would challenge, the head like parliamentarians, for God's sake. I mean, this not a thing where, like, if a bonus salon get birth certificate, not a thing where I even need for go to court for me to prove them. It is about somebody somewhere fighting for these people. Did anybody, Jennifer Kagbo, I don't know say you could know this firsthand, but, surely before we even get to the court, we will get somebody when they represent these people that they consider their constituencies then. Did they do anything about it?
Well, this last registration, we have to understand, when a party is in turmoil, it affects everything around it. A party when they're in turmoil, everything affects them. Let me tell you now, this past registration, voter registration, if it's enough, forgive praise where praise is due. Now we constituency executives them, you understand? Now the chairman then the chair ladies them. Now they mobilize for ladies registration take place. Some of us know the amount of money we'll go for spend for feed and everything. You understand? So you can only stretch them this much. The lower level, the constituency executives them. You can only stretch them so much, And some of them were even involved in this court action. Because now some of them, they bring the picking and come to me. They can see me and they bring the picking and come, then they register, then they take all the information and bring the income. You understand? So the court action really, it was not only me, it was between me, Femi Claudius Cole, and the mayor. And we three, and we be involved, with the support of JFK for take this thing to court. So the action at the community level, at people level, we own level, it was there. In terms of the MPs, them, well, I cannot talk much, about they did theirs, but again, as I say, because the party then is in its turmoil, the center cannot hold. It's only peripheral actions around, issues that is taking place, not a party position, that will stand firm. I know for say Richard Conte, namely they represent the party in ECSL, I'm sure he did his own with him. And I've been a representative now ECSL on all party matters. And I also know for say Ahmed Sisse, you know, when they play young, but he was more like a PR person within the system. But there was no robust, what I would say, robust
action
APC position. Action.
Absolutely.
It was more permissive.
But mentioning lawyer Ahmed Sisse, I had a audio where he make the complaint about the issues. You see, Ibrahim and Comrade and Mrs. Kagbo, you know, like the thing where that we can't see, that the fact that we complain about, we just want to make them say no more, we don't talk, but no actions, you know, like not seem for to be followed, we complain. Because I hear like an audio way lawyer Ahmed Sisse make, like they talk about, you know, like the thing that will happen is inside ECSL. But with all those complaints, surely they jeopardize, you know, like the whole democratic process. But nothing did not follow after that complaining. That just for me, because, you know, I don't know if the like una APC, una CM, like I say, the international community is more like they operate in a more like opposition. Then they operate as an opposition than una, because like all the complaint where Ahmed Sisse raised, all the issues. Like, did he just mention it or say it just for the international community hearing, and then like nothing is being done about these things?
Well, I will continue to repeat myself. A party in turmoil with no representative organ is helpless, and we have to understand that and deal with the issues them quickly, rather than frustrating everything. And that is where we are. Some of us we are trying to say, let me understand the big picture. Let me put my party ahead of pettiness. All this fighting inside not help me. Let me forget about the infighting. Then we look at the big picture. All of these things are happening while we are fighting. Voter registration, they take place while we are fighting.
Yeah.
PR is taking place while we are fighting. And we are missing all the opportunities. You know, then they arrest people while we are fighting. You understand? Then they harass the mayor while we are fighting. All of these things is happening while we are fighting. And so we are not being able to collectively pay attention and give the kind of voice we need to give. And that's the reality. And until our people understand that and close their ranks, and let us quickly work together and face the common enemy, which is the SLPP out there, that is eroding our democracy, that is killing our economy, that whose our human rights is being abused. You know, we're a traumatized country right now. We need to close our ranks.
What is the way forward? Because like let's go now to the APC, because I believe like I seem to understand where you're coming from. Like a house that is divided cannot stand. Surely I agree with you there. So what's the future for you guys, considering the fact that it's like I said, nobody no one budge, nobody no one kind of like give up, nobody no one be the bigger person. It's like, you know, this now, you know, knock me and knock you carnival. Una sim for when it's knock yanda, then the petition yanda, when it's petition yanda, then the knock yanda. Waiting as like a deputy chair man, you want bring, well, before you get to that stage, they say, because even for people that get to that stage where go vote for una, it's like they don't give una the 24th. Today is the 24th. According to the PPRC man, he said like una get up to the 24th.
Yes.
However, people they say the courts supersede waiting the PPRC man say, although we don't know on which basis where the PPRC man talk about the 24th. But what is the way forward? Now the court may say the 29th. According to lawyer Ibrahim Shori, the Timeback chairman, he said that they asked for extension. Has that extension been filed? You know, has it been given approval? Has the extension been given to you guys? With all these things, what is the way forward for Una Party?
My dear, the way forward is for everybody to be sincere. Now, sincerity is lacking. If we are sincere with each other and say we put our party forward, some of the actions that when they talk, either within ITGC, the action within TIEMC, the action within the former executives, those actions should not be there. There should be action.
Okay. I think we lost Miss Kagboy, and maybe somebody's calling her. Hello?
Level election. We believe say we forgive for monitor the lower level election so that we self go tell our own story, so that we go tell with people and say exactly that this they happen. So what I'm saying, sincerity is what is missing. If we are not sincere, you understand, we are not going to move forward. And so what made they ask for and waiting also come out of the McKinney meeting where in a day we try for iron out some of these issues. Sincerity was the headline in it, that we need to be sincere with each other, and we need to speak truth to power, and we need to do things when they go carry the party forward.
Absolutely. I think that's a fair analysis of what is actually happening on the ground. You know, Kashi, you want to follow?
Yes, I agree. It is fair, like sincerity and level, fair level playing field. However, to me, it only become a little bit ambiguous now. It only become confusing. Waiting at fairness, waiting at sincerity, waiting at level playing field. In the ABC, they go tell you, say, oh, as long as you don't be respect the pattern, you don't respect the structures, it means you're not being fair. You're not sincere because you don't like the ABC. For me, I think that term, sincerity and level playing field, don't become a bit confusing and very ambiguous, because each side, each faction would have their own definition of what is fair and what is sincere.
Absolutely.
Well, my own interpretation of what is fair and sincere, specific to the lower level, I'm speaking specifically now to the lower level election. The court will give us some definitive actions then for take. What also? Mm-hmm. The court say if I publish the register. The court say the way they go stand, the names of those where they go stand for be published. What also?
Yes.
The court say those are for me. If we follow those prescriptive or instructive conditions, them, I believe that then we are laying the basis for a level playing field.
Absolutely.
That for me, I'm not taking it out of. I'm putting it within the context of what the court mandated us to do.
Right.
Absolutely.
And where for most times it's not happening.
Absolutely.
And because it is not happening, take for example the list will come out for the executive for the constituency elections. Them, some of the names we are missing. Some people then call me. I called the TIEMC chairman overnight. I said, this is what I'm hearing, so please take action. In which he really acted on it. He said, Mrs. Kagbo, once they get the nomination paper, we then go pay na bank and the application form, then go take part in the election. Because the list will come out late na net, very late na net, all man they get for go sleep. Then the list come out. You understand? It was at that time, late as it was, some of us were up, we were able to call lawyer Ibrahim Suri quickly and bring him to it. And he took some action, of course, because he sent a statement out, which I narrated to some of the people. So that's what I'm saying. If something come out that late, that late when nobody you're not able to correct the mistakes them or the anomalies the way don't they inside there, we are not laying out a level playing field on which people then give evidence to whatever results come out of the election.
Absolutely.
That is where I look at sincerity. I'm very specific now. We have to look at sincerity specific to issues and what is on the ground and what we are looking at, because sincerity cannot be generic in its term.
Absolutely. Everybody get their own biases with everything. But anyways, I think you've laid the point there very well, Mr. Comrade Coach, are you with us?
Yeah, I do.
Comrade, I don't say you.
Let me ask.
Right.
Let me ask. I'm the left on Launa talking. Timina, comrade. Let me come down. Launa ask the question. Let me ask the senior comrade specific questions, in as much as you know within that within the political party, you know within the constituent where they go to. Vying for the position of a deputy chairperson, I'm sure you can forget work than even the chairman, because the deputy now the first point of contact before the case go to the chairman. As a woman, and I believe in you. I mean, you I believe in some your experience. We don't take both nationally and internationally, but the APC for today, not like the APC yesterday. So what is that you take? How you go bring the party together? Like who they team A, team B, people that film themselves by Kabbalah as a deputy chairman. What's in that mechanism for bridge that team they force for all think as APC, not as teams, as it is so?
Well, I believe I don't already lay some foundation in terms of people know where I stand on things. People know that I'm transparent, and what I say is what I mean. I know they talk with two faces. So I think that platform, that foundation where I don't lay, prepare me for make I able to pull people together. Because me, I believe in pulling people together. I believe in a very difficult situation, you should be able to pull people together. You should be able to listen to people, and I believe I'm capable of doing that. For example, I believe we need to revive the old APC spirits. The APC spirits of where we really mean grassroots. We are not talking grassroots, but we only operate at the top. So that is one area where I want to work on. For make sure we begin to focus on the grassroots, and we can begin to focus on the grassroots, focusing on the grassroots within the executive. And within the executive, the grassroots of our executive, really, it is the ward, the constituency, and the district level. That is the heartbeat of the APC. And therefore, we give them attention. And if we give them attention, sufficient attention, we give them the resources, we acknowledge their efforts, I believe we will begin to build an APC that from the bottom up, rather than from the top down. So one area where I want for Dona for how to build APC again from the bottom up, rather than from the top down. And that is where I believe I can get the impact we go able to mobilize everybody, for let everybody make sense in working together, in putting APC above self.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. That's a great question. A great answer as well. Ms. Jennifer, it sounds like you're grounded on the issues. It's like you know your goal, you know your vision, you don't see the problems. I want to ask you this, Miss Jennifer, and just we will go back to the beginning, because like I would say, that's a very critical part of the constitution, of the electioneering process itself, for ensure every citizen vote. I'm very big on that. I believe every citizen that is entitled, we into a felon, get case, don't commit crime, we for prevent and not for vote. I believe every citizen that is of the age to vote should be able to vote. We will discuss that later. But let's talk about, we know some of the cases then where the SLPP gets against some of the members of the APC, particularly so like somebody like Dr. Samura Kamara as an example. When they even talk about the people that don't go lock up yet, where they just arrest all over the country for the past 4 or 5 years. Or when you take somebody like Dr. Samura Kamara, then try for all kind of ways for arrest this person, well, for bring a case against this man, where some of us see it's just for damaging character, because there's nothing there, for letting go hold somebody when he make money come to the country, be there again in office for let them even spending money. The way they will spend the money, they're not in a witness, they are not plaintiffs, defenders of the matter. But then a witness against somebody, we don't even know how they pass and spend the money, how they damage the money. We've seen the publications of the African Express. So what is your take on that, Andy, with the SLPP, especially when it comes to like that case there against people like Dr. Samura Kamara?
Well, I believe, that is why we therefore make sure, people the way they bring forward for can head with political party are people who can stand up unafraid, because they're not get skeleton at the closets. These are people who will challenge the nonsensical talk when they try for paint APC as a corrupt party, because it's an issue we'll get for deal with. Me believe say this regime, this APC regime, where they emerge, get for address the issue of how they try for destroy APC image, because that's what they are driving right now, for destroy the APC image as APC being the corrupt one. Then they try for say about the management of the economy, and we know for say we are better managers of the economy. So we get for make sure say those people who they bring forward, where they can head those positions now with party, are people who can stand up and talk. You understand? Unapologetically. And they are not, to the issues, and take the fight to the enemy, take the fight to the ground. The issue of corruption, we get for take them to the ground. And we get for make sure say we take them to the ground unafraid. Because we not get nothing, me like a Jennifer, not get nothing about this. We go stop me from talking what I have to say, because I know that I know they can, like, they're trying to paint Mr. Samura, but they're finding it difficult to paint him. Likewise, they'll find it difficult to paint me. Absolutely. So therefore, I'm saying that we go for find people them, but we know for say go able for tin up and say things unapologetically because they are not afraid.
I appreciate that. That's a very solid point where you talk to, Ms. Kagbo, because that has been lacking in the APC party for a couple of years. Because when you even look at former President Koroma, we always discuss this. We can say, what did he do when he came in power? Not for saying not able for prosecute the SLPP for the level of corruption and thievery will occur between 1996 to 2007 way takeover, right? But we see and say the country was very fragile because we don't come up from war, want to move forward. It had these big visions for make the country be a better country. Sierra Leone was one of the fastest growing economies during presidency and all of that stuff until Ebola came. So now we make, say, well, I'm going to go ahead and prosecute these guys, for all the kind of, we know then Sababu education money, all that, and we know the Naxa, those areas were all filled with corruption, but not prosecute. But the APC moving forward, do you think that's something that has to be revisited? Because the APC don't give too much clemency. Because, for example, again, when you look at Joseph Saido Momo, not only make Tijank about clemency, what Tijank about, so they don't ban him for involvement salon politics from the SLPMB days, right? But then he was banished out of Sierra Leone completely, go United Nations, don't go work there and all that stuff. Then Momo Nangi and clemency, like come back. So APC always don't create this carpet. Even President Biode like today, being a president in Sierra Leone, now because of the gentility of former President Koroma, this was somebody who committed an act of treason, coup in the country, twice for that matter too. Yes, exactly. These are all things where the APC don't overlook these guys so much to the point where they reach this point. So that talk what you talk, so it's very powerful coming from you, and I appreciate that. And it would be nice for APC people to have that mindset, knowing say we can be, and this is where me and Cashbox we can get this conversation as well, where we say, if we continue for allow these guys get away with, especially the human rights abuses. I didn't even talk about the corruption yet, the abuse of human rights. When you look at what happened in the past 4 years, if we continue to allow these guys to get away free, my sister, what is going to cause now later on in life, people they become aggrieved. Now we could get a rebel war 1991. Finally, people tired and fed up and say, okay, I go take up arms. All of these folks, the Ali Kabas and all of that, and Kabwe rebel war. So when they say the APC moving forward, I think as a political party, it is nice to open up a truth and reconciliation, another tribunal. What do you think about that after the elections of 2023 when we win? In as much as we go for focus on development, but at the same time, you feel say all the people who are aggrieved till today, people who don't lock up, don't kill, you feel say the country go move forward if we not take actions for bring justice for them people in it.
Justice is a continuum. Justice is something that we have to fight all the time. So yes, we cannot just close the page. We cannot just close this page and open a new page. So yes, we can look into the atrocities committed right now. Because we if when we come into power, for let we people they embrace me fully. They want to see how much we're ready for fight for them, how much we're ready for listening to their tears and their cries. So yes, I agree. We need to look into it, and we need to look into it carefully, not with any. Then they use these things for political power. No. We're not going to use it for political power. We're going to use it for justice. We're going to use it for human rights. We're not going to use it for political power. While they are using it for political power, we will use it to show that we're a different breed of party. We care about our people. We care about the suffering of our people. We are not going to do things just for political expediency. What they are doing right now is for political expediency, which we will not do. We will do it using the system to address justice, using the system to address human rights, using the system to address the economic abuse. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to do it in ways that will make us stand out, not because we are being vindictive, not because we are being hateful, not because we are using it as a political weapon. No, we will not weaponize it. We will not weaponize it, which is what they are doing, but we will not weaponize it.
That's beautiful. You know,
that's a very crucial and very clever way Mrs. Kagbo, and by the way, but it's not Miss Kagbo, it's Mrs. Kagbo, because
I think sometimes you go too fast, I can make, but I think I really meant Mrs., but I know I can speak a little fast. So.
I just for make I prevent you from making okay, you constitutional,
Mr. Kagbo,
you see, that's a very clever way, Mrs. Kagbo, you actually put her in a way where we have to be careful and look at it where and say, okay, waiting will bring this reputation back to a country where people feel safe in practicing democracy in our country. And this is where me and Ibrahim always kind of seem for the agree and disagree and all that, because for me, it is all about development. But you can still set up a tribunal and kind of bring, confidence again to a system. As long as you use the word, as long as you're not being vindictive. I think that's the as long as you do it in a genuine way. However, would it be perceived or would it be seen as being genuine? Again, it all depends how you do it. And I love that particular word. Don't be vindictive. You see, but I want kind of go some side briefly, Ibrahim and comrade, right. and Mrs. Kagbo. You see, the APC as a political party, and I get one advice again, listening to a gentleman, lawyer Timbo, so that AYV couple of days, I think yesterday or day before yesterday. So. But before I get there, when I don't feel,
can I,
say people in blood. Sorry, Ibrahim, you asked.
No, before you go there, not forget your train of thoughts. I want close really when Mrs. Kagbo answer that question. I really wanted to close it right there. This is somebody who's not contesting for a flag bearership position, but she speaks this way. This is a patriotic citizen that cares and they get empathy about the people of Sierra Leone. So APC people, these are the kinds of people you have to look for. When they ask them questions, these are the kinds of people you have to look for positions of responsibility. People who come and answer when I cries them later. But go ahead, Kashi. No lost your thought with Timbo.
No. It's fine. And absolutely, that's totally true. Because you see, the chairman of a political party, you see, they kind of role they now massive role now around the world, Ibrahim. It's huge. When you talk about chairman, them the political party, they because every political party gets an ideology. Because about the people and that ideology they now get for translate into governance. So it is very, very crucial. But again, and so that trend, Mrs. Kagbo, the people blood they did now on the hand. The people in destiny they did on the hand. The people in future, they begin the future did on the hand. People they don't be jailed for as we talk. People that did pandemic they don't be sentenced for exercising waiting the constitution kind of bestowed upon them. In other words, protesting. But we manage, and you guys I put it all and they talk now blanketly. You guys, sit by and allow people who exercise their democratic right being, stereotyped or being labeled as terrorists to the extent they have to jail them for 2 years, 3 years. Some of them lost their lives. People brought them in on hand, but yet still, when I sit up the watch, political parties seem for, like, as you say, like, because we are so disorganized, you cannot fight the real cause, you cannot fight the real fight. People in jail now, recently, a month ago, they don't jail them for 2 years in prison. The only way they will come out, for men to spend less than 2 years in that jail, than for make una win the election. But yet still, una they play deke with people in life. You know, do you guys not lose sleep as a result of, like, you sleeping in the comfort of your bed, but yet still hundreds of people are languishing in Panama Road? Would I not feel, say, like, you rated, I will get sleepless night because, like, instead of they spend 2 years there, let's do the right thing, and then so they can spend 6 months there?
Well, of course, you know, I'm sure not for me only they get sleepless night. I'm sure there are others who they get sleepless nights, you know, because I know myself, I'm confronted all the time.
Like sleepless night. But the action of the APC political party, I'm not labeling you. The show, because we're not having our best foot forward. The show. Yeah. We actually they get the ripple effects when you forget. You know, take for example NCOP. NCOP was established so that we go galvanize ourselves around 3 or 4 political parties. That not seem for there anymore. Because I remember I called Femi. I said, "Well, you say Jennifer, not to be one guy, not for say now the leading party in this arrangement. When we are absent at the table, it will not go far." You know, right.
So even at that level, you understand, of reaching out to others because of APC in weakness, the NCOP, the way the COP having for B, it not be so because we have not got our best foot into that arrangement. That arrangement when I for make all other political parties and speak on with one voice under one umbrella. You know, it's a shame. I'm not talking as a loser. I'm never a loser. You know, Sometimes realism, you operate within realism, and within your realism, you do what you can do. You know, I know we cannot come together. So within my own realism, the things I can do at my level, I try to do them and hope that, as we always say, the road not far again. Hopefully by February 12, we don't get a new executive. We believe say we for quickly come together. That is the Ibrahim Sori asked for a timeline from the 3rd of February to the 12th of February, hoping that all other things could not happen so that we don't forget. Right. So now that time they can give between the 3rd, now I ask for, I know say go court for ask for that they extend the time, they vary the time from 3rd to 12th of February, you know. So I'm hopeful that a new executive could emerge, you know, and that executive, believe it or not, it requires heavy lifting. We got to work hard because between the time they can have power and the time when they go election, it's so short.
Yeah.
That will not forget time for begin first day. Time for solutions. Time for solutions, time for results. Time for result, time for solution, not a time for beginning first safe, you know, and that is something we all therefore go there with that understanding that it's not the time of power play. Power play, we're not going to do power play now, safe. You know, power play not only for we power play within the party, not only for the game. The game of power for left and at the doorstep and go at the game of working together as a team, pulling together as a team. That is what should be the way forward the new executive.
Absolutely. It looked like I say, like Ibrahim don't reach the office and
got you.
One scene for and people
right
they don't want to talk for the APC today. Ibrahim, you want to come inside? I want to ask you just a quick question, Miss Jennifer. Mrs. Sorry, Mrs.
Don't worry. I go by both. Don't worry.
Mrs. Kagbo understand. You know, say it's also okay. Say Mrs. Ukindigaga, Mrs. You know, but anyway.
Plenty people call me Jennifer. Even plenty people call me Jennifer.
Kashi, let me tell you, Miss Jennifer really elect Jennifer.
I don't see like Locus Coma, they vibe on the same position where we say they aspire. Which is at the end where you get over, like the others, and including logos because I think I've only seen two. I don't know about two of Una now. Which is at the edge where you feel you get over your competitors, or specifically
Kashi, to be honest with you, I would rather ask Miss Jennifer, say, why not even go for the chairmanship position of the APC party? Why not deputy chairman contest?
But it seems that in invest country, Ibrahim, and you don't kind of like move ahead of it.
Kashi, sometimes it takes.
I don't want to put me, word in words.
Kashi, sometimes what it takes is somebody else to motivate you to see things at a bigger level, because maybe Miss Jennifer, she's thinking.
You don't mean say it is the structure, because the guy now, if you mistake, say you want to go for chairman, like the Mikhail and the bias, and then they go say, but also you don't reach. Like, we follow structure, because it's the APC, the language. We follow structure in the APC.
And that structure will go for breakdown. The time they reach, we will break structures. We're going to go into democracy. Now the people in will, waiting the people want. That time they reach inside the APC party.
Right, like you say, yeah, do the touch, but you don't load where Amy, bro.
Absolutely.
Like you go to the Mikhail and bias, and then you say, well, before you don't follow structures.
Actually, nobody they say only they follow structure. But that structure is not for disadvantage anybody, for let the person know by what they buy for.
Absolutely.
In as much as we not ever get woman where they vie for that kind of position, they na APC as a deputy. We know the woman they come up for position, not to just APC alone. Woman they afraid for go for certain position because they feel say they man them, they marginalize and say this now woman was come out. So if you woman they come up for position, don't see the example like that. As we not only surviving, we not within our governance. We so tell them lawfully them pull up. Like you say, we not the mayor. We say they marginalize them left, right, and center. We don't see so many other women that don't be marginalized. It has been the nature by tradition. They don't take her for big guys. I even work. So if you woman they come out, the bottom line is we know say they all divide for the position, they all equally qualified. But when I in the woman at the race, I think say you get more for gain than lose in this race.
Yeah.
Well, people are asking that question. Plenty of people ask Mrs. Kago, why not being go for chair? I say, well, in life, where the whole cow rope, you all the rope side, for say you go drum, the cow not go overpower you. And me believe say, so I don't work there. Then teach we how to be a winner. Being a winner is not just being in a high level position.
Yes.
Being a winner is to the influence you can make while you are in there. And for me, being on the table is more important than even being chairman. If I then at the table as a woman, the kind of woman who I know say I be, and I don't work with them in the last 4 years. These last 4 years, really, ask them. They know me inside there. They all know me. Knowing that, and I size them all up, demand them all, I can look them with me. When I not see, we not see eye to eye, then can see on my face because I'm transparent. I believe say I get an edge. I'm grassroots. I deal with the people, and so I listen to the people, and the people and voice that they go up. Unlike my companion, when the people from the top in the work can do. Me, I work from the down, go up. So now one edge that's what me get over them. And if I notice this, I don't go around the country. I don't go now the 10 districts. I'm yet to go to Cambia, Potloko, Bond, and Kono. I no more left for me at Lago for finish me because I go and relate to the people there and hear them voices. So that is one edge where me get. I'm very comfortable at the ground, and bring. Yeah. Waiting the ground, the sentiment that the ground up at the table, while from the top in the work, so that gives me an edge.
So when you see the top, you don't think say that is the definition of like obeying party structure, because is that not what APC define as party structures? Because you look at it that's the everybody they say, they follow party structure. For say something at the top to the bottom, now in a party structure, so you seem for to be defiant to the party structure. I'm just asking one question.
Well, I'm not defiant. I'm just facing reality. The reality is that we're a grassroots organization. We're a grassroots party. And if I'm a grassroots party, it is not a sign of defiance. It is a sign of speaking to the reality, speaking to who we are. We are a grassroots party. And therefore, it is from bottom up. And therefore, if it is from bottom up, that should be the structure, and we will match at some middle ground. So no, I'm not being defiant. I'm just being a realist, living the true APC, which is bottom up, grassroots, And I get a saying, the grass get two parts. The grass get the root and get the top part also. Yeah. Well, I'm dealing with the roots. When I in the feed the grass, when I in the up.
Absolutely.
I'm dealing with the roots when I nourish the grass where they up. You understand? That's where I'm coming from. It's not a matter of being defiant. It's a matter of living the true blood. I'm a true-blooded APC, which is grassroots, bottom up.
Okay. Thank you. Over to you, Brian.
Yes, you go ahead. I'll be right there.
Okay. Yeah. You see, before Ibrahim the Carmen, I think Comrade one simple left this thing to we, in a possible way, a real politician amongst we, not the only politician, well, Ibrahim as well. Mrs. Kagbo, one thing the way, as I say earlier, I listened to Honorable Thibault, he was talking about, and I think one of the biggest mistakes, and I believe the APC, as you say earlier, it is because, the center cannot hold anymore. Well, I don't say anymore. It's about to come together anyway. But, one thing listening to Honorable Thibault and people over the years, going to AYB 98.1, SLBC, one of the biggest things, and this is an advice to all of you guys that goes out there in this public platform, when it can, because everywhere you guys go, they ask you about the economy, they ask you about increase in prices and stuff like that. And we listen to the now president way, he be the vibe for this position, talking about, rest be there at 60,000, now it be there at 200,000 at the time. You see, I think the biggest problem where we get, Mrs. Kagbo, the fact that the messages, I don't feel say, una APC, they consult enough, or una the kind of talk. If, for instance, if I want to know about international affairs, where you've worked, I would always come to you and ask. And I think the disjointedness within the APC, the calls for make, when people go out there, in the open, they cannot relay the information too well how for defend. For instance, listening to Honorable Thibault, he was talking about prices gonna go up, but APC back would have been too. Sometimes it painful for make you see somebody they reply to such message, and the informations are there for make una actually make use of it. Again, let me go back. Yes, been the 60,000. Waiting at the minimum wage at the time where yes been the 60,000. It was 82,000. Where come will be the tell me there. No, and then let me round them up to 90,000, which is 83%. So rice price is 83% of people average salary, right? But when you come to APC term, where the rest be the 200,000, minimum wage was 500,000, which is 40%. Yes. 40%, so even though it's I say, 200,000, but it was only 40% of people at minimum wage. That tells you it was life was way better even when it be the 200,000 than where it be the 60,000. But now we get to a stage where rest price and minimum wage that in the Jambody they say equal, in the same, or to some extent rest even past minimum wage right now. But people APC cannot explain these messages to the people. People that are Honorable Thibault or Lawyer Thibault, they talk say, prices are bound to go up, however you get for manager. Yes, I understand that. But, the bigger picture, and I think you guys should be consulting Usai Crab Ebola the bet. If I want to get any legal advice, I will go to Lawyer Thibault. And this is where you guys, I think, are lacking. And you guys need for kind of consolidate on that position and try to communicate well to the people. What do you have to say about this?
No, I agree with you. As people where they network with me, those are areas where I believe say we therefore give attention to, because the way our party is being managed, we are not managing our party as a 21st century party. Take for example our ministers, our MPs. What support does our party give to our MPs when it comes to those debates, so that those debates reflect the values and the principles of our party. We are in the party structure. When they say follow structure, I listen to them and say, what structure are you talking about? There's no structure. The structure was a one-man show. It was a few people show. If there was a structure, you will have a group of people who are constitutionalists, who are people who are looking at economic policies, who are looking at human rights, who are able to feed our MPs so that our MPs can debate and talk to these issues in a manner that reflects what our principles stand for. Absolutely. But they are left on their own. They are left on their own, and at the end of the day, they say, oh, they're not representing us, they're not this. What support are we giving them? So for me, those are the kinds of things it believes when they're inside there. Those are the kinds of things we'll go for pay attention to. We're not going to go put MPs there in the parliament, we just left them there on their own. Then God forbid APC MPs. And what do we mean by APC MPs? The discussions, the programs must reflect beyond vision and our principles. And we must give that. Those are the kind of structure issues we want for you. But when you talk about structure, let me look at structure in the sense of structure. How does structure enhance APC? How does structure embolden APC? How does structure position APC? That's the structure discussion we want to let APC get. Not a structure, power structure we want for Yegi Board. The power structure, we don't pass that stage here. Let us talk about structure that enables APC to operate efficiently, effectively, and provide results.
That is powerful. You know, it's good you touch. Yeah, Kashi, it's good Mrs. Kagbo touched on these MPs as a whole, and you get a very great argument. But at the same time, I think the MPs then get a responsibility to empower themselves, educate themselves on the issues, even without us spoon feeding them. You know, so research comes into play now. I'm not a member of parliament, but I take my time to read about the constitution, and I can put up any arguments anywhere, anytime when it comes about the constitution. You know, so I don't know if you can call me a constitutionalist because, you know, that's not my thing, but it's just something that I decide to read upon because I see how they flagrantly violate the constitution of the country. So I think MPs then get a responsibility to educate, empower themselves, understand their responsibilities, and also the problem there with the APC, I think, picking members of parliament, for be a jolly show. It goes back to structure. Now me paddy this, now me brother and sister this, now me brother and cousin this. So you just take people and you go put them in positions where they're not even prepared for what the job comes with. So you run into these kinds of problems. So they get effective debates. So that is something the APC should look into very, very much effectively, moving forward. So that goes to your structure that you're talking about. It starts from that point as far as getting a party that is enlightened. Get people that are enlightened. Not go normally to go represent with a parliament. Well, look anybody, you come and say you want to go parliament. I ask you for give me one section of the constitution. You cannot quote one part of the constitution. We have a problem. What are you doing? What should you go to a parliament? These are some of the things that we have to fix, and that's a good point that you raise as the chairperson. Well, prospectively, because I would vote for you. Listening to you now, today, I would vote for you for that position where you want to go for. Be chairman or be deputy chairman. I would vote for you because you sound like somebody who's not going to deceive us. You sound like somebody where they talk and what you talk, you mean now. And by God in power, after June 2023, whenever I decide I will come to free tongue, I know I'll go for follow-up with you on some of these things we talk about. To say, hey, Mrs. Kagbo, that's what we say. And me, where, if I don't see I from you, I'm going to come back and lambast. Say, Mrs. Kagbo, I can't lie, we. It can't talk big talk and all of this stuff. But now nothing is happening because we want the position at a particular point in time. But, I think, say, I would vote for you, if anything. Absolutely.
I promise you I will deliver. These are things I've done in my past job. Make a tell you see Namibia, you see Botswana, you see Zambia. These are all countries I worked with and helped to shape their parliamentary systems.
Beautiful. I'm talking to the right
under
person
the portfolio we are hold at the United Nations. You see Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, when he was in the opposition. These are people I worked with for tell them the importance of political party to development. We talked about political party financing, how to finance, because political party now we make them. If you don't get money, you are the whims of few people. Political party when one or two people they get money, you are the whims of those people. And therefore, these are real issues, that structural issues we get for address. And as I believe only when you dare sign down at the table, not because we not can talk about it, we talk about it on the outside, but in the fall on deaf ears. But if you did at the table, you're able to promote some of them in ways that we've been able to promote them outside. Make I tell you for an example, APRM happened here. APRM happened under. It was secrecy. How many people know for saying there was an APRM? African peer review mechanism. The African peer review mechanism took place here 3 months ago under secrecy. But because I have my international reach, I get for no person in Inonge, they come. They don't invite me, but we get away from it in Inonge and give them we own side of the story because it was not open to the public. It was closed up.
Was the opposition not invited?
At the time now, what happened? You know, it was not open. It was closed circuits. You know, then go yonder. Until we invited woman for dinner, took her out for dinner. You know, where we're able to talk to her so that she understands that there's another side there. The story you are hearing, it's not as rosy. Interestingly, the African peer review mechanism
has captured all this while because then it's time for, again, Mrs. Kagbo, like that leads to the question or begs the question about, like how the opposition was stopping you guys from going to like the VOA, the Al Jazeera, the BBC, the CNN. What is stopping? Because all we see these days is just like the ruling government dominating this space. Like, what is stopping you guys from that? I'm not saying you say that because of like, the whole, dysfunctional APC where we get right now. But surely people within Parliament must be able to go to and penetrate these media houses. What is stopping you guys? I mean, even like people like you, when they vie for the position, I mean, would anything stop you from going to the CNN and talk about the affairs of Salon?
No, nothing will stop you. Nothing will stop you, except that say those institutions usually they're highly political also. Those CNN and BBC, they operate from a political lens, and accessing them is not as open as you think, So yes, but if I become a deputy, accessing them becomes easy. For meet them and talk to them, and like because I know Inonge, I was able to call her and she met with. I'm not going to tell you the people we meet with, but she met with people, so she was able to get a better understanding of what was happening. Because the African peer review, I'm one of the architectures. Me hand inside APRM. Now we do the indicators then for APRM. So it was like, and I went on air. I got Tumac radio. I was on Tumac. I was on Culture Radio talking about the APRM, and what it means to our democracy during that same period. I've not been just left-handed no more. I was at Tumac Radio, I was at Culture Radio, I was at Citizens Radio talking about it and its importance to our democracy. And while the president was shouting that then the chairman for APRM, the chairman of the Heads of State, what he's doing is contrary to what APRM is all about.
Oh, okay.
It's very contrary to what APRM is all about.
Right, because this is the thing, and what you just say, if you become the deputy chairman, that gives you the platform to able, for access their media houses there. That tells a lot of story. Without calling names, there are people within the APC where surely hold position, we're supposed for access these media houses. And I'm not, please, you don't need to comment on this because I know the kind of game where they play within the APC. They will say, oh, this person can't indict me and all that in the day. But surely, like the comment you made right there, you being deputy chairman, like, can make you get access. But as it is right now, it is difficult for penetrate that. But, and I believe, people in parliament, as a parliamentarian, you must, in fact, and I know about the BBC. I know this for sure. If you try to get them forget your side of the story, if they don't do harm, you can lay complain to the board of the BBC. I know that for sure. So you see, but like some Bawinian Fankada Mama them, we don't just say we want this. They go say, but yeah, you know what able get base at which like you complain. But certain people that were all certain position, if they want access to the BBC and the BBC stop them from doing that, they can lay complaint to like the BBC.
That is true. That is why I say a functioning APC, a functioning party, forget that kind of network then they. We have people in the diaspora. Effectively, are we using our diaspora? You know, how effectively are we using our diaspora to build those bridges for us, to open up those access for us? That is all the kind of strategic thinking that we need to bring into the party, so that we know how we manage. Who are our lobbyists? Do we have lobbyists out there who are lobbying for us, who are looking at our interests, you know, at the international level, so that when issues come up, political issues come up, APC's positions are being sounded on the board, on the ground. We need to look into those things, you know, and in the 21st century, where the social media don't take center stage, we're not for just use them for the cost no more, not so costful for the use them for, you know, abusive language, invectives. Oh, it is how do we use the social media for enhancing the APC work, both in domestically, regionally, and internationally. How do we use it effectively? What medias do we network with? You know, I know for say we are coming up with this, but rudimentarily but we need to enhance it to make sure we use it in a much more robust and more powerful ways.
Absolutely. And we've seen the SLPP have done really well with that, even with their lies. You see President Bio, they go at his head, they go to their CNN, they lobby, they market these things. They go and meet likes of Bill Gates. They tell Bill Gates, say, oh, they say like each Congress they say $500, for any picking rights down a saloon. When you calculate that, it's way above the country in budget, but still in a kind of like propagate the kind of message internationally. Absolutely. They're doing well with it. Absolutely. And the APC will get a lot to talk about. The people that we don't die na Tombo, the people that we don't kill Panebaru, the people that we don't kill the August 10th protest, the people that are Mine 91, the Tombo, the list goes on. The Kamba member being jailed, like they're not even the Kanguna courts, the LAJs, so much story, but yet still they cannot propagate these messages. That they allow even the MCC, they pass these governments for political rights, civil liberty and all that thing, and they use this to their advantage. Absolutely. But anyway, Ibrahim, let's end this.
Gashi, Mrs. Kagbo, I don't reach our workplace now. I'm trying to get myself now together, but we're gonna let you have the last word. Komrekota, bring Mrs. Kagbo and let get the last word, and we'll close this. Comrade, you're muted.
Hello. I have the last word.
Yeah, yes, sir. Oh, yes.
The mute.
People's power, come inside.
People's power. Okay.
Yeah.
You anything? You don't hear to me. You don't hear Mrs. Kagbo. Close on for we, and then Mrs. Kagbo will get the last word.
I don't agree. Yes, I don't agree. All his submissions. Really, she speaks like a leader, and I just want for wisdom and success all the way. But the problem I get with leadership in the country, I know they just limit time. I know I just limit time at the party, because we all know how the voting system did. Now we party them internally, and also now the country as a whole, because a lot of women and them they cover them position them with party, but they get women and to they Ibrahim Africa has especially Saloni woman, the shopping company woman, and Ibrahim 20 houses Italy is and then at this they make 57 to 58% of population. Now the woman them, so that tells you if the woman them supports the company woman them, the woman them then go get leadership and then go ready for provide leadership in this country. So I just want to tell and Madam Jennifer say the comrade for say our confidence, because woman they need to support the company woman them. It's very, very difficult for make woman them support woman cash, because if you look at the population census, we are the credible population census when at the 2015 year, it tells you women they make up the majority in the country. So that tells you the APC party self, the woman there na them boku pass the man them. So
for le woman support the company woman a very, very difficult cash. You and I know this. A very difficult, and a lot of women they we would speak to, we talk to them. Because then they get for to be one of the broadcasting safe next week by the grace of Allah, because I don't set up a whole data way, I don't collect the amount of man them we they win the different elections them now ward, then the amount of women they will win different elections them now ward and constituency. So I want for put all our figure together and for encourage more women them for make them come and participate, or encourage more women them make them come in and ensure see then they part of the decision making. So because a lot of women they will speak to them why they need to vote for the company woman, why they need to advocate for the company woman them, a lot of them some women they can tell we say well we woman in our position is difficult for like go see we woman in our position it can make like say now no more hold the position, it can make like say no two people in put inside the position. So all of them things then they now can make a difficulties, because a lot of women they would speak to, then they tell me everybody they explain a own passion, everybody they explain a own story why make in the vote for income woman for make it in a position. I think say the APC don't try for do a lot of things then now would see women them within the All People's Congress Party. Then they come team up for them kind of position and they for the deputy chairman of the party. You know, I think say Lord we encourage more women there for coming, and Lord we give them the platform, and Lord we make the enabling environment for women there, make them come in and ensure say they come and provide leadership. So and the comrade Nayasu, Madam Jennifer Kagbo, just want for make you continue and make you ensure say you campaign, you do unto the woman them, because una we na the woman them, now na they manage the house, now na they manage the home, now na know if you the sweet, if you the bitter, if the problem then at the house, una the woman them, now na they know we problem come at the house, una the woman them, now na the suffer, we problem come at the political party, una the woman them, now na the suffer, we trouble kuskas come at the country, una the woman them, now na the suffer. August then, the woman then, and they suffer the most. A lot of them, they begin then don't go on their husband then. So we want to make you continue for reach out to the woman then, and the woman then we for reach out to just the way they talk about the grassroots, where you talk about the root yonder, look the woman the way the language in the street, they not get side for sale, the woman they not get side for sleep. So you go reach out to the woman they ask you, then go explain the problems them to you. Then go tell you the problems them, then go tell you what they go through as woman them. Because we this platform here, we don't the champion, we don't the fight for woman them, like people like Satalamin. We know which they go through after when they announced the elections, 4th of April 2018. We know which is Satalamin they go through. We know which other people they go through. So we want where you don't cancel as a woman, lay you focus on the woman problems then, because this SLPP junta government we headed by Marabu, they don't care about woman them, then they rape woman them, then they beat woman them, selective justice, we see what's happen at IPAM, we see what's happen at legal claim, we see woman them with a professional doctors them, we see they come, they beat them, we see how they humiliate the mayor, we see a lot of women they with our politicians them, how did they advantage them? You see the likes of and Diana Konomani, they put them behind bars, then the Femi Claudio school them, all of them, they also see them. You see how they advantage them. Then you come to Sukari, even at the mayor of McKinney. All of them, they understand. You know, the advantages. So which will be the difference between Madam?
Okay, thank you. All right, Mrs. Kagbo. Your last campaign.
Yes.
Last campaign message. Yes, ma'am.
The last campaign message. I don't listen to everybody. I thank you very much. I believe say women and they support women. Sometimes it's a misunderstanding. You know, women do support women. It's not that we don't have many women coming forward, but when credible women come forward, they support them.
Yes.
The mayor is an example.
Right.
You know, even this Taylor Pierce, you know, we all the support her. She knows it. You know, the support we give her, you know, behind the scene, you know, sometimes it's not obvious. you know. But I believe say women don't go support me, you know, because I believe say I will represent them ably. I will represent them and make them proud. I will represent them and make sure I lift them up. Because for you to be a leader, you're not going to succeed until you lift others up. And I believe, say, when at the left, if I win at the left at chair day, at the left hand to a woman, or I go lift a woman to a chair, to the position of chair. That is a promise I make. I go do so well and lift women up that we go for showcase what women can do. And women, when we hold the party together, if they give it the opportunity, I believe, say, we can transform the party to a party where no matter what, no matter how much infighting we get, fights will always stay, but we'll not go disintegrate. And I think that's the message where I want to say. When we women did before, no matter how we fight, the woman are not making us disintegrate. No matter how heavy the fight is, we go find ways to let peace and harmony come into the house. And that is one thing I assure everybody, that with Jennifer in the house, Jennifer working alongside other women, you know, because the Women Congress, I believe, say, we go work hand in hand. The Youth League, the National Young Congress, I believe, say, we go work hand in hand. Because me not person we believe, say, that join hand, then they make mighty ocean happen, and they make things go forward. So me not join hand person. Because I believe in join hand, I believe I go bring plenty people along.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I ask everybody, I ask for people to vote for make her be the first deputy national chair when a woman inside this country and inside APC. So now APC then go pioneer that. Now APC go show what APC can do, because and it's by Kuroma don't show them now level of in government. Now time for APC for Schwam at the level of the party.
Absolutely. I think that is a powerful message. APC is going to pioneer this change, you know, this new dispensation within a democratic process. Now, APC get for make them possible. I go vote for you, like I say. Listening to you now and everything, and I think you deserve them. You're very much qualified. And because it's not just about the human, it's about the level of, qualification that you bring to the table as well. You've worked with the grassroots, you get to experience locally and internationally. I think that is something that is very powerful. And I see no reason why the APC, for even being a flag bearer or running mate as a woman this time around. Let us assume, say, you have people like Dr. Samora come out in the picture, Dr. Honorable Ibrahim Kemos is here in the picture, but I see no reason why we'll not forget a woman as a running mate for this 2023 elections coming. I think that would be a very positive trend, and the world would
Definitely.
look,
A positive trend, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, with the left
and a number of women whose names have come up.
Absolutely.
A number of women whose names have come up.
Absolutely.
And they're all qualified women.
Yeah.
Who should be considered.
Absolutely.
For so that the flag bearer and get that decision day.
Yes.
Although the party for influence also. The party for influence is flag bearer.
Yes.
So that the flag bearer go see the reason
for
look at a female.
Yeah, it's such a powerful time across the world.
I know say I make SLP not choose running mate. Say SLP they look APC. Where APC choose Fulaman for running mate. Since they've told Fulaman. If APC go to take Chris Man, they go to Chris Man. Until then they no get choice on their own. So then just they no get decision, they no get mindset. If APC go take black card, so they say they go look for somebody who pass black card, then turn around the mate. Now me could not know the flag bearer. Do I go to but no you run the mate because by right. We don't choose flag bearer and they choose why they go for the election. But up to date, we don't know that go if they go back to Malabi, we don't know they wait for APC. Then APC choose back.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, with the left and I salon people. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye bye, Ms. Kagbo. Thank you for taking the time to come on.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now. Yes.